Morning, everybody. Cheers. You missed it. Drum roll. Oh, I guess with a chat delay. That's fine. Ah, nice and hot coffee. Beautiful. So, hello, everybody. Welcome. I have a cleanly, freshly rebooted computer. Hopefully OBS will behave itself. And have a nice hot coffee, which is great. Can everyone hear a hum? Apart from the fact that my computer's a little noisy, as usual. But there's some other hum in the office. I've landed on the deck. Not on my bum, I hope. I forgot the first rule of OBS is don't mention OBS. It is a bit chilly this morning. I'm in t-shirt and shorts, but it's raining outside and it's cold and windy. And my garage got flooded yesterday. We had a massive downpour. Massive downpour. And I got a, it was, anyway, I haven't gone through yet and worked out if anything's been damaged. I don't think so, but there were some boxes on the ground with all my packing stuff that doesn't fit over there. Whoop, over there. Anyway, so all the cardboard boxes on the bottom are wet, but most of it was plastic and it could have been bubble wrap on the bottom, so that should be okay. So hello, everybody. I'm not going to do a roll call. I'm just going to say hello, everybody. Yep. Time for some grading and weep tile and pumps. Okay. Don't know what that means. Hey, Helmet. I'll say hi to people as they, I guess, pop in, but no one be offended, please. Hello, everybody that was here already. Yeah, any humming? Can anyone hear any humming? Because if you can, it's my pick and place machine is on. Because we're going to do some pick and placing today, as well as some hand assembly under the microscope. No humming. Okay, that's good. You can't pick it up. That's great. You'll hear it when it's running, though. Those are mitigation steps for flooding. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, no, yes. Anyway, there is the drainage system outside the front of my garage, the garage door, down the end of our driveway, which is on a slope, is very inadequate. I was out there yesterday with a bucket in the rain, clearing water again. That was kind of fun. Yes, I need to get that whole section of concrete ripped up and better drainage put in. If I get better drainage put in, I don't need a pump. It's just that what's there right now is completely inadequate. It's okay. I'll get there. Just another thing on my list to get to. Hey, Reed. How you doing, mate? Good to see you here. Hey, James. Okay. Michael can hear the humming, but he must have... Was it... who has really good hearing? Is it not vampires? I don't know. Anyway, must have acute hearing. So, shall we check out to see if the microscope works? As in the camera. I mean, it works. And if those that saw my video know it works. But whether it works... So, I've tested already with recording an OBS. So, with my old camera, as soon as I hit record, like just recording a video, it would crap out and start stuttering. Obviously, I couldn't test it with a stream until today. So, shall we switch over and see if it works? I think we should do that. That's it. Hey, Simon. That's an interesting way of spelling Simon. I've never seen that before. Werewolves and elves. Okay, so Michael's a werewolf. Seeing as your room light different. I've got the light on the side here is a bit bluer than I normally do. It's normally a little bit yellowier. Otherwise, no, all the lighting's the same. It's just really weird light outside. Bats have good hearing, yeah. You mentioned that program in Adam Savage loaded. What? What program did I mention? Hey, Dustin. So here we go. I'm going to switch over to the microscope. Let's do it. Let's try it. Okay, and no stuttering. Not yet, anyway. Woohoo! That's good news. So you're going to see that the camera pops in and out a bit. It really doesn't like the shiny surfaces. But just to show you the autofocus. Oh, it's having trouble on that right now. I don't know where the center, oh there it is. There's the center of influence. Oh, we've got a flicker then. But as you can see, it's definitely working. But the shiny surfaces are a bit of an issue, and you won't be able to hear it. But what is that? Hang on one second. My camera moved. It has. That was interesting. Yeah, you can actually hear it when it's refocusing. It's got this like a little rattling sound, which is pretty cool. But it's pretty quick, I gotta say. It's much faster to focus than I thought it would be. And of course I can, so I've got to be very careful when I'm moving the microscope around. So if I'm dropping my microscope down, but you can get it where it starts to get out of focus. So I'm getting as close as I can. See if it'll focus on this. It's having a bit of trouble focusing this close. Very dirty board. This board's been sitting on my shelf for a really long time. So it's having a bit of trouble at this point. But if I move it around too much, see that? Whoa, here it goes. It gets confused and then it does this. And I think it's because of the connector I used. Okay, I need to... Right. Sometimes I just can't get it back. That's really frustrating. Do you ever get this, Dustin? I think it's because of you can't see through my camera right now. Let me just see if I move this back. Oh, no, actually I need to move it forward. I think it's to do with this section here. I need to replace this with a different one. And I think that's the issue with this. So normally I wouldn't move it around. Yeah, it's something to do with this the connector. And so yeah, what I found is that I can get it back sometimes, and sometimes I just need to turn it off and back on again, which will lose the connection to it. So that sucks. We'll fix that soon, shall we? Yeah, it's the extra bit in the middle. It's the only, so this is, yeah, I can't really, maybe you can see it from that view, no. Okay, yeah, it's the adapter I used. I need to have a fixed focused adapter there, not a variable adapter. Yeah, so that's, I need to fix this now. I knew if I did this to show you it was going to do it. You can sometimes get it to a point where it can fix it. Oh, there it goes. Where it will fix itself. There you go, it's fixed itself. Okay, I just need to zoom back out a bit and not do it too quickly. Right, so normally I just have it on the one spot. Like that. Okay, good, we're back. Yay. The birds, yeah, there's some very loud birds outside. Wow, Andy, you're very attuned to my backyard. Very attuned. So that's good news, right? And I've still got my DSLR connected at the same time. So I have two different, I'm not using a switcher because both of these run, so my DSLR runs at 25 frames a second and my MicroScope runs at 60 frames a second, and so I can't use a HDMI switcher because OBS can't. You have to tell OBS what the frame rate is for a particular input. So if I try to switch it that way, it just gets confused and I have to reset up OBS each time. So I've got two HDMI captures, and I've got them both running at the same time, and that's pretty good. Very happy with that. Interesting stitching on the PCB, is it? Do you mean around here, around the edges? That's pretty common for, that's the ground plane stitching. You, if anything, I should have had it denser. Like, they're pretty spaced apart. And so that's ground plane stitching, and then there's also ground plane stitching around the LNA trace. So that's pretty common. And then I've got more ground stitching. You always want to stitch around the outside of the PCB to make sure that you get you don't want any orphan ground. So I'll try to show you what I mean on this. So if we look at this, as soon as I bring my tweezers in, it's going to try to focus on them. if I get them too shiny. Yeah, okay. So like, if you look at this bit here, right, there's a via just there, a ground via. Now if that ground via wasn't there, you'd have this ground in here, and that ground in there would act like an antenna. A very small antenna, but it would act like an antenna. So if you look at all these little tiny antennas everywhere, you don't want to have that. So what you do is you stitch them to the inner ground plane, and that fixes all that up. Now what I could have done is brought the ground plane just further in, and I have done that in other board designs, so the top ground plane doesn't go past the halfway point of the pins, the header pins. But what that also means though is I get less ground copper, and the TinyPICO needs as much ground copper as possible to dissipate heat because of how small it is. So yes, that's what that stitching's for. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, you get, yeah, like little antennas. I'm not sure exactly what will happen in terms of the harmonics from it, but it's good practice to always stitch your ground planes. There's actually a lot of stitching underneath the antenna as well that you can't maybe see. So inside the antenna area, it's all stitched as well. So, and some of my future designs I've got even way denser, more denser. More denser stitching. Okay, oh, what am I putting my coffee over there for? Okay, so MicroScope works. That's really good. What's the difference between the Reflow Master and Reflow Master Pro? Well, the Reflow Master is available and the Reflow Master Pro is not. That's a good difference. The Reflow Master Pro has 2 thermocouples instead of 1, and obviously takes the average. Has control for 2 external fans or 2 external devices, whatever they are. For instance, one could be a fan and one could be a linear actuator, whatever you want to do, anything that you want to control. Has an emergency stop. It's got some Wi-Fi based stuff which I've been started working on for things like profile management and stuff, so you don't have to reflash to add new profiles. Yeah, it's just faster, but speed isn't an issue. It's not faster to reflow, it's just a faster micro on it. It's using an ESP32 instead of a SAMD21. But that doesn't really, change anything in terms of usability other than how fast the screen refreshes, I guess. So they're the main differences between them. But the 2 thermocouples and the 2 fans are the key things for me, anyway. Having 2 thermocouples means I can put them in 2 different places in the oven, get an average, which is much more accurate and then the 2 fans is going to allow me, well, what I'm planning on doing for my toaster oven build for the Reflow Master Pro is to have a fan for bringing cool air in and a fan for extracting hot air out. Potentially, I don't know, I'm still playing around with the idea. And all the software is built in MicroPython, which really makes no difference to the end user. But it's causing me a lot of grief because it's been a complete rewrite. Seems to be worth the wait for the Pro version. Yeah, if you want to. I don't know when it's going to come out though. I don't have an ETA right now. I'm about to do a board redesign for it. So it's, if you need a reflow controller, it's not going to do anything more than the current Reflow Master will do. Like if you're using a toaster oven to do your reflowing, and a single thermocouple works fine, as long as you get it in the right spot, then I don't know, if you need something soon, then get a Reflow Master. Don't wait for a Pro. I've still got no boards coming out of China. I've got all my boards still held up. So at this point in time, I'm not submitting any new boards. I could technically get my Reflow Masters built elsewhere. My boards, my PCBs built elsewhere. But I still haven't decided if I'm keeping the Nano on there or not. But I'm going to be redesigning, doing a hardware change on the Reflow Master Pro. Not to fix anything, just to change the way some things work. Okay, anyone played with the 32-bit RISC-V microcontrollers? Have not. I have not. Zoom. Hello, Zoom. Should grab one of the M5 stack ones. They're RISC-V ones. They're pretty cool. So I'm going to do some building today. Let me switch to here. So I said it last time. I swore I wasn't going to build. This looks very blue, doesn't it? I think it's just because of the blue here. I wasn't going to build any more play shields, but I built that last batch, and they sold out pretty quickly. And I've got people again asking. And look, I've only got about, I don't know how many screens I've got left. I think I've got 12 screens left. That's it. So I thought today, to get to use the MicroScope on the stream, I'm going to build some play shields. And I'm going to hybrid build them, so I'm going to do some parts on the pick and place machine and then some parts by hand. And you all haven't seen me, well, I've never used the pick and place machine on a stream before. Now, I did set up an extra webcam, but it's not behaving itself. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to introduce it. I can try. Hey, Brian. Okay, I'm gonna look. I can try plugging it in again and see what happens. It just makes my computer start going a bit psychopath. But we can try it. I'm going to have to reconfigure it though, so we're going to lose some picture just for a second. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, it's not finding it. Hold on a second. No, it's not finding it. Okay, well, let me try one more port. Oh, here we go. So I can't control the autofocus on this one. I can only control the autofocus on one webcam at a time. So I do it on my main one over here. So I've got this on an arm, the old arm I used to have. Wow, it really doesn't like the microscope light. I'm going to turn it off for a moment. So I've got that over here. Oh, you can see my knees. So what I thought I could do was, is I could maybe make it look at the pick and place machine. I can't really get any closer. So the problem with that though is I now have a cable going across my microscope because my cable's not long enough and I can't find my USB extender. So, I mean, that would be the view that you got to see of the pick and place machine. Yes, that was my knee. And I'm always happy to be streaming. What I'd like to do is actually set this webcam up above the pick and place machine. But I need a really long USB extender, but it's got to be a powered extender to be able to go that long, to be able to reach back. So look, I may do that in the future. It'd be really cool if I had a way of switching the USBs, but I can't do that. This is the vector art credit from a Gerber. I have no idea what we're talking about. Yeah, you need to keep the two different webcams on different USB host chips, which is why sometimes I have to put it into a different port. I don't remember what port to plug it into. So look, so we can definitely try this. I just don't know, like, you're not going to be able to see much. You could maybe stream the PNP one. What do you mean by stream it, Brian? Like as in through one of those, like through an Ethernet adapter or something? Yeah, it's not. Well, the lights have to go off when the pick and place runs. The lights above it. It's just that these webcams aren't designed to do good, like, far distance. Let me turn the back light off. So the light has to be off anyway, if you remember. If I have the overhead lights on the top, it messes with the UpVision camera. So I think we should let's paste up some boards. It's actually quite, it feels dark in here now, because it is dark in here now. See, now the lighting here is completely changed. I need to get some. Let me just adjust this. There's too much blue. Let me get a bit more yellow. I think that's a bit better. And maybe just pump a bit more light into my camera. Okay, so we should, let's do some pasting, shall we? I'll probably just start with one board and see how we go. And I think I've got all my components out that I need. I'm going to have to reflow this in my T962A though, which is in my garage, because all my toaster ovens are still in pieces on my bench. So you said your RGB strip misbehaved. Did you fix it or replace it? No, I haven't replaced it, and it's not really fixable. It just occasionally flickers, and I'm not sure why. Excuse me, it depends on what colours are on there. So I'm looking super washed out now because from the light. It's quite bright now, but otherwise, yeah, maybe let me see if I can turn it down a bit. The truth is, look, I still don't have a great setup for streaming. I've got a great setup for working. Like before, I was on the back desk. I was really cramped together. Like I had everything on top of me. Now I've got everything. No, it's not PWM flicker. You can actually see some LEDs occasionally flick off. Yeah, no, it's not PWM stuff. So now I've spread myself out really nicely, but it makes it really hard to stream because I've got no coverage through cameras. I wonder if microwaves work on solder paste. Ooh, I don't know. Hello, Station 240. Bent stencil. Okay, let me switch cameras and let's do some pasting. This will be a first. Assembling under a mic. No, actually I've done it under a microscope before, it just wasn't good, right? And using the pick and place machine on the stream. That's pretty exciting. I think it's exciting. Do I want to get a bit closer? No, I'll just leave it like that for now. Just mixing some paste. Mix it around. Get it onto my spatula. Now it's been a while since I've run these boards on my pick and place machine as a hybrid. I did that video about it a while ago, and I'm hoping that all the parts are still in the same spot. I didn't check. I should check, because if they're not in the same spot still, that could be a real issue. Because I started building Reflow Masters hybrids on there as well. Okay, I'm not looking at the chat at the moment, so if you need me, please just at me. Oh, I've spilt paste everywhere. Oh, I hate it when I do that. Well, I'll know when I build it. If it puts parts in the wrong spot, I'll have to fix it. Okay, so out. Can't really see what I'm doing, but that's okay. A bit more through the middle. Okay, well, not too bad. I'll leave this paste on for the moment on the spatula, just in case I decide to do a second board. Let's have a look at this under the microscope, shall we? Except, as I said, this cable's in the way, so that could be a problem. If it could focus. Ah, come on, there we go. So how did I go? Look at that. That's pretty damn perfect. Look at that, spot on. Spot on. Did a kitten come in? No? Meow. Meow. I don't have cats. I used to have cats. I don't have cats now. Okay, so let's try this pick and place. Let's see if I can fix this camera. Make it a bit higher. Not really. And I'm at the cable. I can't go any further with the cable. Hopefully you can still all hear me okay. So I need to load in. Don't even know what you can see. Sorry about my backside. Okay. I'm going to put in a board on this side to brace it. Okay. So. Hold on. Okay, we're ready to go. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see anything. Has good calves for it. Thank you. Yeah, it's really not a good camera position. Okay, I'm going to run it. Well, I'm going to step it first to make sure the first one goes. Okay, an error. Not drawing material. Okay. Well, it could just be stuck tape. Let's try that again. Excellent. So we have an alignment problem. An alignment problem on 18. As I mentioned, I haven't used this. I might have changed something. So, feeder 18, 10 microfarad caps, edit, calibrate. Yeah, that pickup position is way off. What's going on here? That's very interesting. I'm just going to calibrate the pickup positions. I'm not sure why they've moved. Okay. Checking the chat. 2 hours later. No, not 2 hours later. Okay, we should be good now. Let's try it. Got it that time. Okay, gonna run it. Okay, it's placing 9 parts per board, 4 boards per panel. It's quite loud, huh? The big... I'll wait till the noise stops. The big reels are SMD buttons, USB connectors, Pico D4s and antennas and stuff. Hey John, P&P is so slow. Oh, so low, I can't read. Yes, my pick and place is low to the ground. Let's wait till it finishes. Oh, failing to pick up the buttons. Hold on. No, it's different reels, the buttons. I'll explain the... So, the audio is really loud. Hang on. Just let it finish the board. Okay, I'll answer all your questions in a second. Let me get it out. Whew, that was interesting. Let me just put it under the microscope and then I'll answer your questions. It's not too loud to make me out. It was red peaking on my audio. Okay. Now I didn't even calibrate this. Normally I do a calibration pass first, especially if I haven't run a board for a long time, and I didn't. So as you can see, some of the components aren't perfectly aligned, but they'll reflow fine. Or I might nudge some. You can see there's a couple of caps there are a bit of a problem. So just to answer some questions, I've got a lavalier mic, but switching mics all the time is a pain. So that flowery thing on the side, the flower like here, this is all part of the unit. I did not make that. This is all part of the reel holding system. So yeah, no, that's not me. You see a resistor skewed. Probably, as I said, I didn't calibrate this at all. So normally if I'm going to do a run of, you know, 4 or 10 panels, I'll spend half an hour or less now. It's probably 15 minutes just to make sure that all my positions are fine, because things shift, right? As you saw, pick up places for the heads shift over time, or maybe I had a different component in there, because a lot of the components on here have been put on in between doing TinyPICOs. So, you know, I might have switched between an 0402 and 0603 component, which means the pickup position on the tape is different, and then I didn't recalibrate it back again, stuff like that, right? So normally I'd spend 15 minutes and calibrate the PCB first, the panel, but I didn't, as you just saw. I just put it on and ran it. Couldn't use a cheap... Yeah, I can get a webcam over there. The issue is getting a cable back to my computer. Smallest package on this board, 0603. These are all 0603s. Yeah. So the issue I was having with the first pickup ones at the start was just because the pickup head was in the wrong spot, because I must have had an 0402 reel in there beforehand. The pickup issue you saw during the run was on the buttons, and so this is my third reel of buttons, these little momentary ones, yeah. And so the problem is they come from LCSC. I don't know how long they sit in their warehouses for, but the tape, the glue on the cover tape on the reel is terrible. Like, there are chunks of the reel where the glue's come off completely and the tape isn't stuck to it, and the buttons just fall out before they come through. And there are other parts of the reels where the glue, the mechanism that pulls the cover tape off can't get the tape off. Like, the glue is just, I don't know, fused to the plastic. And so what you saw then when it stopped and it wouldn't pick up anymore was because it couldn't pull the cover tape. Like, I went over there and I literally had to pull the cover tape off. It happens on that one, and it happens on my USB connectors quite a lot, and both come from... It's not an LCSC issue, it's just that it's, you know, I'm sure they've got thousands of these reels in their warehouse. I don't know how long they've been sitting there for, and over time the glue just either disintegrates or just gets affected. That glue, as I know, sign of a repacked reel. These aren't, well, I don't know if they're re-reeled or not. I don't know what you mean by repacked, but yeah, look, it's I don't know, I don't want to call it Chinese quality glue. I don't know. I mean, these are obviously Asian brand products, right? They're from Asia. I don't know where they, where specifically. I don't want to blame it just on that. Look, I'll be honest with you. I get the same issue on my, on the glue on my antennas, on my reels, and they come from DigiKey, for my Pro Ant antennas, on the TinyPICO. Not quite as bad, but I still get issues where sometimes the glue just, you can't pull the tape. Like, even for me, I have to put a lot of effort into pulling the tape. Oh, Sylvia, making everyone coffee. Excellent. I'll have another one, thanks. You mean a cable to your switch? What switch? What? Oh, to my Ethernet switch? No, I just need a cable from... It's a USB webcam, so I need USB coming all the way to my computer, or I need to get some type of Ethernet to Ethernet connection to stream it. Either way, it's either more money or long cables. Yeah. Could you use wireless webcam for the P&P? No, I don't have a wireless webcam. That's the thing. Like, I'd have to go out and buy stuff to be able to do it, and I'm not sure that it's worth spending the money on. To be honest, I don't know. I mean, I've got more important things to probably spend the money on than that. Plus, I don't have Ethernet over in that corner, so I'd still have to run a long Ethernet cable anyway, which I can do. But yeah, I don't have an IP webcam. I don't have an Ethernet webcam. I do have this webcam though. It's USB. I do have a USB extender somewhere. Instead, these machines should use mini razor knives and cut and discard it. These machines shouldn't, because they're cheap machines. Should a pick and place machine do that? I don't know, maybe. Are you happy with your pick and place, or would you have gotten anything else if I could now? Oh, if I could get something different now, absolutely, I'd be getting a different machine. But look, I've been happy with it. I built, I don't know how many boards I built on it. 6,000 boards, 7,000 boards now, all up for everything I've put on the machine. Like, I've pushed this machine way faster than, way further than it had a right to be pushed. It's not a production machine. It's designed for prototyping. So what would I get? I don't know. I'd probably get a Neoden 7 is what I'd like to get. But I can't fit it in my office. I can't get it through my door. Honestly, I've checked. But I can't justify spending $30,000 or $40,000 on a pick and place machine. It's as simple as that. This pick and place all up cost me $5,500. $5,500 plus my time. I mean, it paid for itself in its, in its first week of use. So, no, I shouldn't. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It didn't pay for itself. I couldn't have done my campaign without it, right? As many of you have seen on my channel, it took a lot of effort to get it working really well, and I got it working really well. I got it reliably placing 04, 02 components and smaller, like reliably, but like I can't do 02, 01 with it, and I'd like to look at doing 02, 01. Well, the Neoden 7, you're talking about US? Where are you, Jay? Are you in the US? Oh yeah, USD, you wrote that. Right. Well, it depends what feeders you get with it. It's all about the feeders. So the nice thing about the Neoden 7, it just uses the Yamaha CL feeders, which are pretty cheap. They're not digital feeders, they're, right? But, yeah. And that's another thing as well. I'd like a pick and place machine where all my components stay on the feeders and I just replace feeders. So, look, this has been great. I know there are people out there, like Reed's on the chat here. Reed's got one of these machines and he's had some struggle getting it calibrated and working reliably. There are a lot of people on the desktop pick and place mailing list that have these machines that have not been able to get them reliable, and some people have. I don't know why they can't. I mean, it's a perseverance thing. Someone asked me earlier on, did I have to open it up to adjust the camera? Yes, I got a video about that. I had to open up the pick and place machine and refocus the up camera. This one was 5.5, like me, like Australian dollars, right? 5.5 landed. BitLooney's building one right now. He's using a light placer, and originally I was looking at a light placer. The problem with the light placer is it's extremely slow. It's a single head. It's 8 times slower than mine. 8 times? Yeah, about 8 times. 6 to 8 times slower, which wouldn't have worked for me. And it doesn't have any feeders. It's all ad hoc parts placement, and you can build feeders for them, and you know John Oxer is building feeders for his pick and place machine right now. But look, I didn't want a pick and place project. I needed a machine that I can build my boards with, not a machine that I can play with a pick and place. Does that make sense? I'm not using OpenPNP, no, because it's still not right. It's the only way to get OpenPNP running on these machines right now is to either replace the board with a SmoothieWare board, or to reflash the firmware, which is a one-way only with SmoothieWare, but it's not production ready. Like, there are people tinkering with it, but no one's using it in production right now. So there's no way I can do that. I need a machine working. The software's not great, but I got it working reliably. Okay, let's do some. I got more. You know what I'm going to do? Because I'm doing a lot of talking, I'm going to put this other paste back in the jar, because I don't know if I'm going to do a second board. We'll see how we go, but I can always pull the paste back out again. I don't like wasting paste, because my paste is not cheap. Okay, I'll clean that up later. To afford business model near and 7 pay, you would have to do assembly for others. Yeah, there's no way I'm doing assembly for others. Not happening. Okay, I'm going to unplug this other webcam because the cable's in the way for me working. So I need to put the rest of the parts on, and I also need to fix what's on here. Now, normally I wouldn't use my microscope for this, because the components are 0603, they're big enough, I can do them by eye. But if I do that, you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to, look, I don't really need to move these will reflow fine, but I'm just going to do them anyway. Or ones that need it. As you can see, everything is slightly to the right, and that just means that I had to recalibrate the center bit of the board, which I didn't, which I always do at the when I place a new panel in, but I was rushing. That was rushing, not Russian. Remember, at me if you need to say something, because I can't see the chat right now. Can everyone hear me okay with the microphone all the way over there? So as you can see, there's still a lot of components I need to put on these, but having the machine place, what did I say, 9, 18, 36 of them for me is pretty good. Can't really complain about that. It's not only 36 parts I don't need to place, but it's 36 parts I don't need to pull out of strips, which is nice. And see, you see that? Can everyone see? Is Greg in the chat? Did you cool things? I just pick and place those two components, and they are not the right way around. So all the components come on tape not oriented correctly. Well, the let me tell you, the ones that come out of Asia, the Asian brand ones, no consistency on their rotation in the tapes. I hear you, but the sound is upside down. Ooh, it's exceptionally good. I'm glad it's exceptionally good. Okay, so let's get some more of these components on. Where will I start? Let's start with my light sensors, my ambient light sensors. So I need 4 light sensors. You can't really see me pulling them out, but 2, 3, 4. But you'll see me putting them on. Got to remember which way they go. If they are diodes, they would have to be consistent. Yeah, I'm talking. Sorry, I'm talking about passives. I'm talking about like resistors. I mean the caps you can't tell, but yeah, with what happened to my microscope? Come on. Okay, this is going to be really frustrating. I'm going to have to get that new connector. Come on. Okay, this is really annoying. Oh, Digital Things is there. Yay! Okay, come on. Camera. I'm gonna have to contact the guys where I got my camera from and work out what adapter I need. Oh. Okay, this is so annoying. Yeah, the extra lens is causing it, but I don't have any other way of connecting it. The camera didn't come with any other adapter because I didn't know what adapter I needed. But I don't, yeah, wow. What I can do, actually, I'm going to be careful I don't get the, okay, if I bring the menu up, I can probably put it on manual for now and just leave it on manual. I should just do that. What do you think? Let me leave it on manual focus if I can focus it. It's really bad controls. Okay, that's about as focused I'm going to get it. Sorry, I'm going to leave it on manual. Now I've got to close this window. Okay, it's a little bit blurry. Yeah, I had it for a sec. It controls it. It does it itself. It comes in and it comes out. Can try to make me one. Well, I don't even know if it needs a lens in there at all. I don't think it does. I think it just needs a straight through, but I don't have one, as I said. Okay, gotta be careful. I stuck my hands on the. Yep. Okay, so these are the ambient light sensors. Got some shaky hands today, unusually shaky. I think I'm just nervous. Yes, for me that's shaky hands. I wish this was more focused. Damn. It's really frustrating. If I go auto again, what will it do? Oh, auto just focused it. What does click focus do? I don't know what click focus does. It's also super bright. Maybe I can tone down my light. Maybe that'll help. Just makes it harder for me to see what I'm doing through the lenses. If I put auto back on. Try that. Yeah, but it does that anyway. Like I can, even if I've got autofocus on, I can still click. Let me make my area bigger. And that didn't work. Oh, I'd have to click set, do I? No. Okay, now I can't make the menu go away. Thank you. Okay. Wish I knew how people tweeze and micro adjustments. Practice. Lots of practice, that's all. Let's get the LIS. The IMUs, we'll put those on. These are the only ones that I really need to do on the microscope. Well, I don't have to, they're pretty forgiving. But they're just easy to do under the microscope. I've got very clear placement boxes around them. I got a funny story for you all. So I was assembling some reflow masters a couple of weeks ago, and I take all of my SAMD 21s, my QFNs, out of the tray and place them all down on my bench next to me before I put them down. I don't take them one at a time out of the tray. I take, like, if I'm building a panel of 4, I'll take 4 of them out. And I did, and I looked at the orientation I needed them to be on, and I put them all down. I put them in the orientation I need, but I did them 90 degrees without thinking. I don't know what happened. And so then I placed them all 90 degrees, and just before I stuck them into reflow, I noticed and had to pull them all off and rotate them. I mean, I could have fixed them afterwards, but the risk is not noticing after a reflow and trying to power them up. I don't know what would have happened. But yeah, there was just a lapse of concentration or something, I don't know, and yeah. Okay, let's put some amps on. Some little PAMs, 8301s, I need 4 of those. Actually, before I do that, I need to stick some 10 nanofarad caps. Need some 10 nanofarad caps. When near focus, the camera picks up even fine surface. Smart designers assign the pins. What? Yeah, I was like, I always check my boards before I reflow them, just to make sure. But it was just a I thought it was funny just for myself, because I did all 4 of them in the wrong orientation. So I don't know what I was thinking when I was taking them out. I just, yeah. It was just weird. Okay. So I just need to get some, let's see what they are. These are 10 nanofarad caps. Just filtering on the amp. I'm constantly looking up to see if the view from the microscope is in the camera or not, because I can't really see where the center is when I'm looking through my lenses. Okay, cool. Now I'll do the amps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these little amps don't have a marker for the let's go over here, for pin 1, but what you do is you orient them where the letters are down, so the F works as pin 1. It's a bit annoying. It'd be nice if they could put a marker on there. It's not the end of the world, but it means I need to use the microscope when I'm putting them on, because depending on the lighting I can't tell just with my glasses, even my close-up glasses. Some of these. Hey Yaz. Hey Mr. Watts. How you doing, Yazzie? Everything okay? I hope so. Sounds very quiet in the house. So you can see why even a slow pick and place machine is pretty good. Okay, now I need to stick some resistors in there and a cap, and I've got to remember which ones they are. I think that's a 0.1 and I think a 4.7k resistor. Hey Scott, yeah, that's the Sony. Have you got the Sony IMX 290? I think it is. So I'm just loading up my board in Eagle just to remind myself what they are, because it's been a while since I've built this. I'm pretty sure it's a... That's a 1, yep, which I had on the pick and place machine. I don't know why I didn't place it. And 47k, not 4.7. Good, I'm glad I checked. Okay, so I need some 1s. Oh, Eagle just crashed on me. Yeah, the Eakins. Yeah, it's the same one, I think. Scott? As I mentioned, I've been wanting to get one for a long time. But really only so you guys can like see what I'm doing when I'm streaming. So it was a lot of money just so you can watch me do this. I mean, for me to be able to use it for inspection, honestly, it's I need an external monitor for it. It doesn't make a lot of sense me doing it without an external monitor, and I don't have any space on my desk for another screen right now. So yeah, it was a big investment. I'm not complaining, but it was a big investment just so you guys can watch me do this. And also if I want to like do videos, build videos. So I've got some boards coming soon that I could do under the microscope in a video. Okay. I've got components all over my desk, but that's okay. Do you drink caffeinated coffee? Yes, it is caffeinated coffee. The strongest that I can get in my machine. Catalina strikes. What do you mean, Catalina? By the way, I'm running Catalina now. For those that weren't aware, I upgraded my computer. And this is I'm on the latest Mac OS now. So far, so good. Yeah, I was going to buy a set like that, Scott. That was in my shopping cart for a while. Honestly, the reason I didn't do it was, firstly, I wanted it attached to my microscope, which means it would have been very painful to have to switch them out all the time. But also, the cost of it put me over the... whoa. Just want to see something. What is that? Yeah, okay, fine. I thought the numbers on the resistors were wrong. Hey Ben, yeah, the cost would have put me over the duty threshold, and I would have had to pay, not duty on it, I would have had to pay import fees. It was about $12 over, which would have cost me an extra $120 something dollars. And I decided that I didn't want to, for something that I was only going to occasionally switch between my microscope and that other unit, I decided not to do it and just bought the camera as it is. But yeah, I should have bought a different adapter, a fixed adapter is what I should have done. Okay, I need to put 2.2K for the LEDs. Did everyone have a good week? I hope everyone had a good week. And I just ran out of 2.2K 0601s. I didn't run out. I've got plenty on a reel. Okay. It's upside down. No one freak out. Greg must be sitting there freaking out right now. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, I've had a lot of practice. You know, I did my time hand assembling thousands and thousands of 0402 components, right? You get kind of good at it when you're doing that. Okay, LEDs. Now you're going to notice that I'm not placing these are 0603s. I'm not going to be placing the speakers. The speakers have to go on after I clean it, ultrasonic clean it, and these have to be ultrasonically cleaned. So what I found was when I put the speakers on first and I ultrasonically cleaned the boards, 1 out of every 6 or 7 boards, the speaker died after 3 or 4 uses. So it wasn't immediate. It was really weird. Like I'd test the board and it'd be fine, and I'd put it in a bag, whatever, and then I'd like go back to it and test it again, and it would fail on me. So yeah, it was which way is that going to go? Wrong way. These are blue LEDs. So now what I do is when I'm assembling these, I clean them first and then I hot air the speakers on, which is a real pain because what happens is when I reflow, these speaker pads, they reflow, right? and then when I clean them, it cleans all the extra flux off, and so when I go to hot air them again, there's not enough flux there. So then what I have to do is I have to touch them up with solder first, and then I have to hot air them. It's a real pain, but I'd rather that than the speakers fail out in the wild. Because once they've left, you know, very hard for me to fix it. So I can't believe I'm still building more of these though. I said I'm never going to do it. Yeah, projects get in the way of YouTube, and YouTube gets in the way of projects, right? It's always an interesting juggle. Okay, last thing we need to do is these switches. I'm going to do this one just by looking. No, I don't think I can. Okay, one. Whoops, stuck to my finger. Okay, well, that wasn't quite in camera view, sorry about that. Almost done, and then I'm going to reflow it. I'm going to reflow it, then there's a whole bunch of hand soldering to do, which is one of the main reasons why this board's got a lot of steps, which is why I didn't want to make them anymore. Okay, so that's everything on it except for the speaker. And yep, cool. Okay, I'm gonna go reflow it. Looks like Sion's playing with an X-ray. An X-ray. It does look a little bit X-ray-y. Okay, I'm going to reflow this. Unfortunately, you can't really see me do that. And then I'm going to come back while it's reflowing and put all these components away. I might leave them out because I'll build some more. Build some more after the stream, I think. Sion Rowent Gen. What does that mean? Okay. Back in a minute. Okay, reflow has started. Yay. Not been drinking my coffee. That's a little cold. Okay, just gonna get these parts out the way somewhere. Oh, that'll do, whatever. So, what did I miss in the chat? Probably a lot. Oh, Wilhelm, okay, the guy who discovered X-rays. I did not know that. That is not me. Do some duties in the stream. Still going. Could you give an update for your parts storage inventory tool that you've made? The update is yeah, it's being avoided by me at the moment. Yeah, I have more to do. I need to get back onto it, and I will. But I made a promise to myself that I am not going to beat myself up on how much time I spend or don't spend on any particular projects. How long is it in the oven for? About 6 minutes, I think, 6 or 7 minutes. So yeah, it's currently stalled while working on other things, and I'll get back to it when I'm in the mood to get back to it. In the mood, that's not the right word. When I'm motivated to get back to it. I mean, it's working great, but there's some stuff I need to get done, some yuck stuff, some non-enjoyable side of the process I need to do, and so I tend to lose interest when I get to stuff like that. The best would be a pick and place that could find the part in a mixed tub of parts. There's already, I saw a thing that does that. I saw a video about some guys developed a thing that they can just take it's like a little container of different parts in there, and the head can go in and pick them up and sort them and pull them out and recognize them, work out what they are and orient it in the right way, and lay them down to be able to be picked up. So it goes through and just picks up all the things first and sorts them out, which is pretty cool. Getting that working on an actual pick and place though is the hard part, but no, it wouldn't work for anything unmarked necessarily, unless you were very careful on what went in there. Like, you wouldn't have a tub of 0402 caps and, you know, of varying types. That wouldn't work. But it's more for, I mean, but stuff, you wouldn't want to do that for passives, because passives are ridiculously cheap. Like, you want to do it for more expensive components, or things that are easily identifiable. Something you can rummage through the shells, yeah, that would also be cool. All your power's connected to Sonoffs. Oh, you're inviting an AI catastrophe in your office, Johnny. What did you miss? I'm just reflowing the board right now. While we wait, I've got a package I can open to show everyone. Although it seems to be missing one part of the package, which is frustrating. I need to contact the seller at Ali, because I ordered 2 things and they only shipped me 1, which is really annoying. But shall we do a bit of an impromptu opening? Let's do an impromptu opening, a mailbag, yeah, just while we're waiting for the reflow. It's come in a Banggood bag, which is interesting. So yeah, I didn't buy it from Banggood, but it came in a Banggood bag. So I don't know which one this is. Which one is it? It's a sample book. And can everyone read that? Everyone read it? 0201s, yes. And what are these? Right, these are caps. Okay. And cog. No, I did not order cog. This is not what oh, here we go. Interesting, I thought they were all X7Rs. I thought, oh, and there's some X5Rs. That's interesting. How far up do they go? Right, so 0.1 microfarad. Are there any 10s and some 10s? So yes, I bought myself a sample book of 0201 caps and 0201 resistors. So the cog here and X5R and X7R are the oh my god, I just lost the word for it. It's the type. Oh, someone jump in with the word of what it is. But anyway, it's what they are. It's what. Oh my gosh. Tip of my tongue, gone. I'll get there. I'll remember in a second. Ultimately, it's what they're used for. What the dielectric. Thank you. Oh, it just beeped. Thank you. was going to say the diarrhea, the dielectric. So it's what they're really good for. It's how they're, yeah, like for instance, yep, OBS just died. Okay, are we back? And back. Yep, OBS died. Yay, OBS. Yay. And I didn't realise I wasn't looking. I don't know what the last thing was that you heard me say. So it's how they perform on their temperature graphs when they're at their temperature / voltage graphs when they're at their maximum voltage range or minimum voltage range, and their temperature is how, like for instance, a 10 microfarad cap isn't always 10 microfarads, but depending on how hot the cap gets and what voltage range it is, then it will change. Like it could go down as low as 6 microfarads. So the different dielectrics of the different caps perform differently in their voltage range over temperature. And so some are better suited for things like decoupling, like the, as I said, the X5Rs, X7Rs, there's now X8Rs, or not now, they've probably been around for a while. And then you've got stuff like the COG and NCOG and NOG and whatever that are much better for things like RF, if that makes sense. So I always use X7Rs if I can find them for my decoupling, and if not, I'll use an X5R. Both pretty much perfectly fine for decoupling. But I thought the book I ordered was all X7Rs, and clearly not, but that's okay. Maybe they just don't do X7Rs when it gets that low in the picofarads. I've only ever bought low picofarad caps for my RF matching, and they've always been NCOG, so that's fine. So that's probably why there's a range in here, which makes sense. So why have I got 0201s? Well, I want to start playing with 0201. I want to start designing boards that have got 0201 components on them. I can't pick and place them though, because my pick and place will not do 0201. But yeah, they are tiny. Can you even see the dots? Picofarad, yes. Okay, let me get the board out of the oven. Okay, let's move this out of the way. So there it is. Anyway, so I've got another book coming. They were ordered from the same supplier, so I don't know why the resistor book didn't come at the same time. I need to check that out. That's a bit annoying. Let me just focus this in again. I worked out with my focusing thing that once I get it in focus, I can click back and get out of that view. But I still haven't worked out how to not have it zoom in like that, which is a bit annoying. No coffee with caffeine for Sion anymore. Why? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Don't you just need a new head nozzle to do 0201? No. The precision on this machine is not good enough to do 0201. I've got nozzles that can do 0201. Oh, I can hand place 0201s. I've got no problems with that. But no, the pick and place isn't precise enough to do 0201. Just checked my sample book out of Curiosity. It's got a similar mix. Yeah, so when I had my 0402 sample book originally, that didn't have a mix. Like I picked which ones I wanted, but clearly the range of capacitance on them was within the range of what could be done with an I think they were X5Rs at the time. Have you tried 30 frames a second on OBS? Might be more stable. I am doing 30 frames a second on OBS. COG are better than X7Rs. No, they're not better, they're different. They're used for different things, Embedded Hobbyist. COGs are not good for decoupling. They're not as good as an X whatever R for decoupling. So if you want decoupling caps, you want to use an X7 or an X5R. If you're doing RF or high frequency switching or anything else like that, then you want to be using NOG or COG. They're for different uses. They're not, one's not better than the other one. YouTube thinks it's 60. Yeah, no, my OBS is showing I'm doing 30 frames a second. I'm doing everything at 30 frames a second, and I'm pretty sure I'm sending at 30 frames a second. If I hit open stream, output, like I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely only doing 30 frames a second. We were talking decup. Who was talking decup? What did I miss? Okay, I'm not sure why it's showing 60. How could it be showing you 60 if I'm only capturing at 30? So is it double framing things? That's really weird. I didn't know YouTube did 1080p at 60. Interesting, okay. Yeah, it could just be a streaming thing. It could just... Okay, well, I'm definitely capturing at 30. I can't capture any faster than 30. YouTube is lying. YouTube always lies. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Let's look under the microscope again, though, just to make sure. Check it out. Don't you change the focus. Stay still. Okay. Wow, that's super bright still. Why is it gone? Like, I've almost got this off. That's off with the light. Really can't get any... Wow. Okay, so see those caps? The resistors are all straightened up, the buttons are straightened up. That's obviously the missing speakers. Yep, they're all straight. So everything straightens up. Everything fixes itself up on the reflow. Looking good. Yep, all good. Woo! Guess what? We've got a visitor. Well, there goes the stream. There goes the stream. Hi.
Hi, on my screen, you're fuzzy.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe you need to refresh your browser.
I did.
I don't know.
Hi, friends. Where's the camera?
It doesn't matter. The camera's there.
Hi.
It's yours!
Check out the tan.
The tan. I think it's just the lighting in here. Did you want to...
Excuse me?
What? The tan? Okay, right.
I
don't have a tan.
The last time I was here, it was winter.
Oh, right. It's winter. Look outside.
No, it's...
Okay. Are you sitting? Did you want to sit?
I got a reminder. What?
Did you want to sit?
Sure, but only if anyone has anything to say, otherwise I'm going to go.
You got to talk a bit louder so they can hear you. No, you don't have to scream. Just louder. There you go. Have a seat. I'm just going to clean up this mess.
That's not mess.
Right, it's mess for me.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Hi. Pretend that... Oh, okay, cool. Okay, everyone said hi, so hi.
Hi.
Anything else?
Well, if you're going to talk, I'm going to do a toilet break. Bye.
No, I don't know what to talk about. Yep, got a new microscope.
No, I didn't. Camera.
That thing?
Just the camera. It's okay. Don't talk about my stuff.
I won't talk about his stuff because I actually have no idea what he's saying. Hi. Oh, pretty lady. Oh, that's nice. How was everyone's Valentine's Day? That's a good question. Ian, how are the kids going? Kids are going really, really well, actually. I just messaged before up on the thread. The new school is amazing. I feel like I've entered the twilight zone. Like, the amount of communication I get from them is, like, it's unbelievable. But it's just the simple stuff, like just letting us know if the teacher's not going to be there, and so that I can let the kids know. Unbelievable. And yesterday the little guy came home with a little communication book, so they write in what subjects and what lessons that he did during the day, what his behaviour was like during the day, and then parents can write a note in there as well. So yeah, it's amazing. And then between school and our therapy on Wednesday, everyone's on the same page for once, finally. And I feel like I don't have to spend my life trying to navigate everyone and organise everyone, because it's tiring. And and I'm over it. So it's amazing. They're going really, really well.
Oh, school.
Yeah, school makes the massive difference. I feel though that I was used to getting nothing, and now I feel like we're being over-serviced in a good way. And then our daughter leaves at the end of this year and has to start high school, so I feel like we're going to start the process again. But the goal and the aim for me this year is to get her prepared for next year. So that's my next thing on my to-do list. Kids, yes. Did you have a nice week? Yeah, it was all right. Oh, David, really? That's okay. Do you know what? My Valentine's Day was pretty much the same. We don't do it. We don't care. It's just in there. We don't even do birthdays.
No, we don't do birthdays.
Yeah. Well, ours, the kids, obviously, because, got to pretend that we care about them and stuff.
Nice one.
Oh, Ian, I'm actually really happy to hear that. I'm actually, can I use the S word?
Sure.
No,
what,
not
that
one. No, not that one. Not that one. Not sure.
No.
Like, I'm quietly
the shit one.
I'm quietly shitting myself for next year. But we'll see how we go. For high school, trying to speak to all the schools and really ask questions. Yeah, so I think what we've done is we've kind of worked out what high school we're going to. I started doing tours 2 years ago, because and then C came to 2 schools last year with me, and we kind of we know where we want to go. Sorry, we know where we want her to go, but it's about getting her ready. It's just a huge step, huge transition. So and we all go into it going, I don't want to be that mum, but newsflash, we're always going to be that mum, because that's what it is now for us. Just Leon to look after now. Yeah, no, he can look after himself.
Go to us, how's my running going?
Oh, good. Why? Why is that a funny question? Why is that a funny question?
Because it's running because of David.
Oh.
Because he told me to get off my ass and go exercise and look after myself.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not in those exact words.
I thought it was because, it's a big year, and he thought, I should start looking after myself. But thank you, David. That's great.
No. He said it in a much more caring way than that. That was me.
So he was more caring than me.
Yes, to me.
That's
yes.
fine. Yeah,
yes.
That's expected, really. Valentine's Day, went for a walk in the mud. Valentine's Day, yes. It's such a stupid day. I don't really care. It was really just conversation. Yeah, same. Birthdays, a lot more behind than in front. Absolutely. Like that expression that life's like a toilet roll.
What?
Life's like a toilet roll. The closer you are to the end, the faster it goes.
Wow. I've not heard that before.
I've been telling him for years how wise I am. For years now. Yes. How true is that? And I also think, like, in terms of, like, when your kids are little, I think, like, the days are long, but the years are short. Like, every day feels like a slog, but then you go, oh, they're another year old. Chocolate. Yes, chocolate makers, Valentine's Day. It's like I won't go there. I was going to say Coca-Cola and Santa Claus, but I'm not going to go there. I didn't.
Not till December. Wait till December.
Yes, the diameter. See, that's physics. What's that?
Physics.
Is it?
Maths.
Yeah, I don't do numbers, so it's one of them. No, there's no kittens. No, Do you know what I'm looking at? I'm sorry, I get distracted. It's not a surprise, secret. The scooters are out there.
Yeah, I know.
Rusted as much. Okay.
Not rusted yet, but they will.
Oh, we had. Did you tell them about the rain? Yes, because of the
rain.
Yeah, we had the rain and the storm, and the kids left their scooters outside, like the Muppets that they are. Oh, I love how everyone likes the toilet roll one. I have to credit that to my nana, who told me that when she was 93, I think. Yeah, it's a good one. If you like that, you'd like to see more, just follow me on Facebook.
Wow. Do a plug, go on.
Crowley, I think Crowley drowned, just quietly.
You haven't had Crowley for a little while.
Paul could have saved him, though.
Who?
Paul.
Paul who?
Paul, because of the rafting and rescuing and stuff. Could have saved Crowley if he drowned. I know.
Wow, I don't know what you're talking about.
I know.
Wow.
Scooters, spray them with inox. What's inox?
I have no idea. Maybe it gets rid of
Rust?
They're not rusted yet.
No.
I'm going to go move them.
It started to rain again, but yeah, he's going to go move them. No, I haven't taken the kids to school. Wednesday's therapy day, so we leave at soon, like at 9:20. Go past the cafe, get my hot chocolate, and then I drop the kids off at therapy at 10. They finish at 2, but during that time, the therapy group run a parenting session. So basically we get to, on top of sit and bitch and moan about our kids, but it's a really supportive and cohesive place where everyone can just be themselves and be honest and get support from one another. But the other thing is that the therapists actually talk to us about how we can best support our kids at home. So in order for this therapy to work, we have to be on board, the school has to be on board, and therapy, obviously. So there's like a triangle, and the kids, their little world closes in on them. So they can't get away with certain behaviours that they have in the past. So there's that. Yes, I go to school. I learn how to be a parent. Good. I've been doing the parenting sessions for 1.5 years now, and I'm still going. So that says a lot about how I'm going. Oh, sorry, Paul. Mr. T. Can I call you Mr. T? No, that's taken. Always all night. Yes. Oh, look at this weather.
Yeah, it's terrible outside.
So as you can see, I didn't blow dry my hair. It's a frizz mess because it's very humid here and it's raining, and I figured, meh. So I know that you're really interested in my hair, so glad I answered your questions. Are you want to, answer? You want me to go?
No.
Yeah, I tell you what, with this school run business and the weather, it will only pour the time that you have to get the kids in and out of the car. And there's nothing worse. Nothing. Although
it's plenty worse.
There's one time that my son, with his incredible memory, keeps reminding me and everyone he meets of, is I think it was 2 years ago, and he reminds everyone it was a Tuesday. There was this massive downpour, and so the parents were all waiting outside the classroom. There was no cover, and the teachers, after the bell, decided, we'll just leave the kids in for a few more minutes and not send them out into the downpour. Meanwhile, the parents are standing out there with sideways rain under the umbrellas. We were all saturated. It was beyond anything. There were puddles Anyway, so before I did pickup, it was very grey out, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go to the bathroom at the school so that I can just get the kids and go. So I did that, and I removed everything from my pockets, obviously. And then end of the day, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, come on, guys, let's just get to the car. It doesn't look that bad. I think it's going to get better. But it didn't. It got way worse. It was winding.
Winding?
Like, yeah, winding.
Okay, come on.
Wind, I know. And anyway, it was beyond. Like, the little guy was screaming and screaming for his teddy bear. Like, it was terrible.
Thanks, Christopher.
And then, I don't know.
Christopher just did a super chat.
A what?
Super chat. He donated 50 NOK, which is that Scandinavian? No, something.
Oh, thank you.
Somewhere up that region.
Oh.
Continue your story.
I'll
never finish it.
No, I will. You know what? When I tell a story, it's like a plane.
Keep going.
And everyone's just like,
Stop.
just land the plane.
Just go.
Anyway, it was terrible. The kids were screaming, and then I got to the car, and I didn't have my keys. And then I realised that I had probably, when I emptied my pockets, had left my keys. So we left the keys at the school, and we had to walk all the way back. And the kids remind me to this day of this mistake. I blame my neurology, but also things happen, and that's that. But yeah, it's one of the worst things I've ever done to my kids. I basically drove them home. I think I stripped them down because they were saturated. It was just a mess. Anyway, yeah, you got closure. We're good now. Cool. I look at the time to learn about parenting. That's why. Yeah, mate. Seriously, no kids. Yep.
No. Shh.
What?
Have kids. Do kids.
Yeah, whatever.
Everyone's experience is different.
Exactly. And so everyone's want to go and have that experience is different. So I respect everyone.
Just like with electronics, be prepared that what you expect it's going to be like. It's going to end up being different.
You have 2 weeks to learn.
Who? Oh yeah, Ben. Yeah.
But the thing is, though, you don't. You learn when they're here.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah.
Don't read any baby books. The only thing you need to know and to read is the child, is the baby. The baby hasn't read any books. He doesn't care what the book says. Just be in tune with the kid. That's all I can say.
Yep.
Honestly. And that's because I've had so many kids and I'm so experienced. Rabbit hole. Yep. Gonna go down another one now. I gotta go. It's been great. Push on the bell and thumbs up.
The only parenting advice I'm going to give,
No,
is that during the whole time at the start where all your baby does is cries and you keep saying to yourself, oh, I wish they could talk to tell me what's wrong. Yeah, don't think that. Don't ever want them to talk faster than they need to, because once they start talking, they never shut up. So
yes, I'll go a step further and say they're walking. Once they walk, they like run off. It's very annoying, at least when they're not walking and getting into stuff. You just put them somewhere and they don't move. No. I remember the days where, like, if I needed to leave the house, I could just grab a kid, put them in the car seat, strap them in and go. Now it's like a negotiation. How long will we be? Where are we going? What do I need to wear? Can I take this? Can I take that? Seriously? Just enjoy the time where they're immobile.
Yeah.
Oh, good to see everybody.
Jay came out smiling.
So I'm told. Why, where were you?
What? When he was a baby?
Oh, you came out... Sorry, I thought you said mine came out smiling.
No, Jay came out smiling.
Well...
It was probably just wind. Don't worry. That's what they say about babies at the start, that, oh, look, my baby's smiling. It's apparently, no, they just show that face when they've got wind.
Or when they're milk drunk.
Yeah.
Of which mine were never, so there's that. We can do that topic next week. Just send me a couple of emails about what you'd like to talk about. And
emails?
What? Because I don't have a thing. I don't have a YouTube. Email? Tweet? Send us a tweet.
Oh, you want email me about what you're going to talk about?
No, directly to me about what I'm going to talk about.
Who's got your email? Who's got your Twitter?
I'll sort it out. He'll sort you out. It's all good. I don't know what OBS is.
It's the software I'm using. Anyway, don't worry.
Oh. Yeah. The interwebs. Okay, that's great. Bye, everybody. You are such a card. That is the best thing anyone said about me.
No, she's three-dimensional.
What?
Card.
What?
Two-dimensional. Forget it.
That's a number. Forget it. Bye.
Bad humour.
You are a card. Can you screenshot that? That's a meme. I love that.
You're a card.
You are a card.
Yeah, because no one's going to know what that means. As in, our kids won't know what that means. Where'd it go?
It's not for my kids.
You're a card. There you go.
Oh,
I got it for you.
That's amazing. I'm a card.
Oh, that was Mr. Watts.
Yes.
Yes. You're a tree. You're a tree.
No, I'm not.
No. Okay.
You're the tree.
Thanks.
Bye. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Say bye to the kids for me. Or not.
No.
Or
It's
not.
okay.
Okay,
I
cool.
can find where they are.
Thanks, everyone. I've never heard card before. Yeah, I've heard that. That's an expression. Although, what does it mean, though, Mr. Watts? You're a card. Like, you're a cracker. You're funny. You're a... Anyway. Watch The Greatest Story Never Told on BitChute. It's not PC. Oh, not politically correct. Right. It's banned. Okay. What? Greatest Story Never Told. Okay, I'll look it up. Great dad joke, 2D. Yeah. See, no one else got it. Oh well. Like, I've heard the expression before, but what is it? It means amusing person, occasionally strange, eccentric. Okay. Yeah, well, that's yours. Amusing, but not occasionally strange, just always. No, I thought that was it's a UK term. I've heard it before. If someone were a playing card, which one would he be? The Joker. Absolutely. It's a kind expression. Yes, I know it's a kind expression. I just wasn't sure what the exact... Like, as I said, like, you're a funny person. Like, I wasn't sure what the exact meaning was. Ollie's been watching us on the stream. That's very funny. Also means silly. Yes, well, there's all of that as well. Yeah, see, I'm the Joker. Absolutely, I'm the Joker. One, 3 of clubs. Oh. So there's one other thing that I was going to do today and show you all today. And I still wasn't sure if I was going to do it on a video or not. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. But so I wanted to just quickly, I want to bring a topic up from a video a couple of videos ago, and so there seemed to be an what's the word? No, I can't think of the word. A larger than expected amount of worry and stress over this tape that I'm using on my reflow oven. And so I wanted to just, talk about it. I might still do something on my videos. So this tape here was put on this board, and this board goes into my toaster oven. And I put my other PCBs on there, right? So it's because otherwise the PCBs fall through the grill. And this has been reflowed about 80 times. And it is stuck to the board. Like, this is me trying to peel the corner off here, right? That didn't curl by itself. That's me trying to see how well it's stuck. That there is me sticking a soldering iron on it to see what happens. Right? I've been trying to lift it off on the corner. Look at this. It is stuck, right? Glue fumes. There's no fumes from the glue. there's nothing worse that's going to come out of this than it's going to come out of the flux and everything else that's inside the solder, right? There's been, I got so much pushback on my video about using, apart from the fact people telling, or one guy told me it looked very unprofessional. Like, hello, I'm not making a commercial toaster oven. But anyway, like this stuff is not, it's not sticky tape. So this is actually designed for this purpose, like not to go in a toaster oven, but it's flashing for metal to insulate joins on pipes, metal pipes and stuff that are either that transport super cold or super hot stuff, right? Like it's. So what I wanted to do on this, I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to probably hurt myself, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to turn on my hot air, and I'm going to just hot air the crap out of it. It goes on heater ducts. It goes on all sorts of stuff, right? This is exactly what it's made for. So there was just so many people telling me, like, sure, I know I could have riveted it and stuff, but I don't have to. Like, I didn't just go to the news agency, or I don't know what you call it overseas, you know, the stationery shop, and just buy some sticky tape. You know what I mean? So this is, will it reach? Oh, not really. Damn, hang on. Can I get it closer? Wow. I'm just moving everything. So this is heating up. It's 340. I'm going to take it higher. Okay, 360 degrees, right? I reflow up to 180, but even if it gets to 220, this is 360. I don't know if I can get this on the camera. Hang on. How much closer can I get it? Oh, that's about as far as the cable will go. Okay, here we go. Can everyone see this? I'm getting it as close as I can without touching it. Okay? This is 360 degrees directly on it. You can see it's bubbling a bit. Right? Do it right on the edge. Now it's not exactly 360 degrees because there's that gap between the end of the nozzle going through the air. But this is way hotter than my toaster oven's ever going to get. Okay, this is I can smell burning now. Right? Okay, I got to stop that. That's just hot. That's actually getting even hot in my hand. Oops. I just need to hold it and let it. Okay, I'm just going to put it back on the machine so it will start cooling down. I hope. Temperature drop. Okay, it's going. Okay. So, that's... Whoa, that is hot. I'm about a centimetre away. I should have stuck my DMM probe on here so you can see how hot it got, right? I'm about a centimetre away and I can feel how hot that is. I'm just going to let that cool down. Actually, I might stick it on using pliers, right? Not using my hand. I'm going to stick that just on the heatsink just to cool it down. Yeah, this is aluminium tape. Like this is really, really good stuff. I don't know if I'd use it on a spaceship. I don't build spaceships, you know what I mean? Like this is, so yeah, I just wanted to, yeah, like I felt like I got an unnecessarily high amount of pushback and flack from people. And maybe I just wasn't clear enough. Like, so I've got this tape on the back of my toaster oven. It's plugging the hole where I originally put my thermocouple in before I put it to the side. Originally I had it going into the back of the oven. And remember ages ago people were telling me to use JB Weld or whatever else to fill the gap, and I didn't have anything. So I just stuck some of this tape on it. So I've had this tape on the back of my oven, plugging that hole for every single reflow I've ever done on that white oven, right? And I've done hundreds and hundreds of reflows in that, including high temp stuff, which is why I melted my PET-G, right? So that was going up to 250 degrees. And the tape on the back of the oven is in pristine condition, right? Don't build a spaceship yet. Waiting for that on Tindy. Where's the rocket? Yeah, one day. It isn't because the compound it's made of is adhesive. The use that's important. It's yeah, this is good tape. This is exactly what it's designed for. So look at this now. Is that okay? So that's cooled down. It's still a little bit warm. So that bubbled, right? We saw it bubble, but look at this. It's stuck. It's still stuck. Right? I mean, I can grab the corner and peel it off. Actually, that's actually quite hard to peel off. Like, I can peel it. Look how hard it is to get off. It's still stuck. Like, this tape is the perfect solution for what I'm doing in my oven. I don't have to drill holes. I don't have to rivet. I don't have to go and buy rivets or a riveting gun. I know they're not overly expensive for the guns. The rivets aren't cheap. Whatever. You know what I mean? I can just tape this together and it's really durable. It's not going to fall apart in the oven. Anyway, I just wanted to clarify that. I felt like it needed some attention because it just seemed in the chat like people would just thought I was a lunatic. I mean, I never said I know what I'm doing ever on anything, right? Like I'm you know, I'm not an expert. Like, this is a journey I'm on, but I don't put silly things inside my oven. Like, this was well planned out before I did it, and I should have just been clearer, or maybe I should have gone into this more on the video, but I didn't think I needed to. Anyway, the factor is getting the real stuff. Yeah, this is not. This is, but yeah, I wish I had the branding on it. I mean, I could probably find it again, but like I wish I had the original packaging that showed what this is. Like, this is, yeah, this was really expensive when I bought this. This was bought originally for my my K40 laser cutter to completely seal up the exhaust coming out of the back of it. So this, you know, there was a lot of heat coming out of the back of the laser, and that's what this was specifically bought for, because it's metal tape. Yeah. You do not come across as a lunatic. They haven't been watching you enough. No, even some people that have been watching me for a while pushed back on that one. And I'll be the first person to admit that sometimes I do some crazy things. So I'm professional, using some seemingly high performance tape to solve a problem when you can add 10 times more steps. Right, but people didn't realise what the tape was. I think people were just dismissing the tape as being just something like some crappy tape. Like, I don't know. I think that was the issue, that there was a lack of understanding of what the tape was and what it was for. And I guess that's my fault. I maybe glossed over it. I wasn't clear enough. I thought I was clear when I was stating that, you know, but obviously not, or people just didn't believe me. But yeah, like in terms of how it looks inside, I mean, does it look as professional as if I was riveting it? Well, maybe not. But I had a lot of people telling me that it just wasn't going to be durable. That, you know, if I'm going to build something, I should make it last. Well, this absolutely is durable, as you just saw. Like, I mean, if that... God, this is still warm. If that wasn't proof enough, 360 degrees, let's call it... Let's take off 40 degrees because of that little half a centimetre gap between the tip of the thing, right? And let's call it 320, which is still 100 degrees more than the maximum I ever reflow at, and 150 degrees more than what I normally reflow at. And that's just proof that it's fine, right? good and bad equates to price. The 3M product is obviously going to be more expensive. Yeah, this tape, I'm pretty, from memory, I could be wrong, from memory it was like $75 for this roll. Like it wasn't cheap, right? But it was the only thing I could find that I was comfortable using. I could have got cheaper stuff, but I just wasn't comfortable. Like, it just wasn't, I wanted something that I could just do. Like, I wasn't prepared to risk my laser cutter at that time on something else. I'd love to learn TIG welding, or welding in general, absolutely, you know, but a TIG welder is not cheap, and obviously my understanding of TIG welding is harder to learn than normal welding. Like, if you got a good rounding on normal welding, then TIG welding is easier to pick up. Alan, who's in the chat often, my friend, who, yeah, he's got all different types of welders, so he could have welded stuff for me. Can you weld aluminium? I don't know. You'd probably TIG weld it. I don't think you could do normal welding on it. But again, this is not needed. Like, this is, yeah, this is perfect. He thought it was hard. I don't know. I don't weld, so I couldn't possibly tell you. I've not really looked into it. I buy cheaper metal tape on eBay. Seems to have same heat resistance properties. I'm sure I could get it cheaper somewhere. I don't know. I mean, at the time, I was at the hardware store. That's what they had. I was looking for something. I mean, this is obviously 2 years ago now. I mean, that's how long it's lasted me, because I don't use it for a lot of different things. But it's going to last forever. But like, at that time, I didn't even know what I was looking for as a product, and that was shown to me, and I was there, I needed it, so I bought it. You know, if I was running out, I needed to replace it, I'd try to find the same thing online, cheaper. I've welded once at a workshop during my undergrad. It was fun. Yeah, I reckon welding would be fun, but like with all things that are dangerous for me, I'm concerned about my klutz level. Does everyone know what a klutz is? Yeah, I hope. Yeah, I'd be concerned about me hurting myself through my klutziness. So, yeah, having a welding thing. Yeah, anyway, I don't know. One day. I also don't have any place to do it and to store it. I need more place, more space. 3M limited aluminium tape foil, 338 silver, 48 by 45 meters. Pack of one. Where did you? Yeah, $30. Look, maybe it wasn't $75. I can't remember. It was expensive. I remember thinking, oh my god, that is just like so much money. But I'd also just I'd bought my K40 and I just spent like $900 on a replacement controller for it and a new lens and stuff. And I figured at the time, whatever that cost, it was a small amount compared to what I'd paid already to make sure that it was insulated properly. So as it turned out, though, with the K40, that my exhaust was insulated perfectly, but the extraction wasn't strong enough to get enough air out, so I could still smell what I was cutting inside the unit, right? Not high temp, very high temp. Flue tape, 3M flue. I don't know. As I said, I don't know. I can't remember. Welding grinding needs a garage with concrete floor, sparks floor. Yeah, I've got a concrete floor garage. Like, I wouldn't do it in my office. Like, next to, say, out the door, moving camera. So out the door, where you can see my, oops, maybe, no, the light. Hang on, wait. Can everyone see my reflow oven out there? So that garage, it's all concrete floor. It's a garage about a little bit shorter than the size of my office. So like a 1-car garage now. But it's not big enough. I've got too much other stuff in there. I've got combustible stuff in there, right? I've got boxes and storage and things. So like, there's no way, like, I could never put a CNC out there, like the mess it would make, and putting welding equipment. Yeah, I don't think I'd do that. Don't grind, need glass. My windscreen used to go rusty when it rained. What? Rusty windscreen? I've set myself on fire many times, welding and grinding, nearly always funny. Well, I shot myself in the stomach with my laser when I was aligning it, my K40, right? So that's kind of funny. but yeah, like, yeah, setting myself on fire. I could see the humour in that if it was small, but could you imagine if that happened on a video? Oh, God, the internet would go nuts. Yeah, I cop enough shit for things on my videos as it is right now. Yeah, like we won't even, no offense to anyone in the chat right now, but like we won't even go into all the people who were trying to suggest to me how to fix my wobbly desk issue. Like I appreciate everyone's help. I get it. Like I you know, and there are the stacks of ideas, but I feel like sometimes, like when I make a comment in a video, like, you know, yeah, this is working really well, I just need to work out how I'm going to get my desk stable so it doesn't wobble, right? Like when I say that, that doesn't mean I don't have a clue, right? It just means I need to sort that out. Like I need to work it out, right? And it's like, but I make a comment like that, and then like in the comments back is a whole bunch of people telling me how I should do it. You know, I need to, you know, attach the desk to the wall. I need to, you know, concrete slab on the bottom, put weights on the desk, or whatever else. Like there's all lots of great ideas, but they're ideas that I've already gone through. Like I've already, you know, like I didn't say I have no clue how I'm going to do it. Does anyone have any suggestions? Right? Anyway, it's totally fine. I get that people are just wanting to help. Some people are wanting to help, and some people are just wanting to tell me how to suck eggs, which is totally fine. So as I said in the comments of my last video, no, everyone means well. Absolutely, I got that, right? I said attach it to the wall to stir shit, actually. Yeah, well, you would, Ian. But I know your sense of humour, though, so that's fine. So, like, the problem I've got with my desks, they are automatic, they're electric standing sitting desks, so they're motorised, right? So, because of the nature of the type of desk they are, there is no back or sides on them. And the only thing holding the top of the desk to the bottom of the desk are rails that go up and down, right? And because they go up and down, they are not, like, they're not fixed. So there's play in them. So the amount of wobble on my desk is not huge. Okay, like, let me just, let me go to here, right? I'll just show you what I mean, right? So the wobble on my desk is not huge. It's not. But from my microscope that is so sensitive, right? If I bang my desk, see this? I'm banging the desk and I can't see the desk moving visually with my eyes. But the microscope and the camera is so sensitive that that's what happens, right? And that's really hard to fix with these desks. I'd have to either change them so they can't raise or lower, which I don't really want to do because they were really expensive desks, or yeah, I don't know how I do it, and I can't. So let me also just show you this so you understand why this can't be wall mounted. I'm moving my camera again, and let me just switch. Rebuild a desk. Well, I don't want to rebuild a desk. I don't want to have to buy new desks. That's the problem. Like the whole issue, like, yeah, sure, just like I could go spend money, right? Lots of money, but I don't want to do that. I've got two perfectly good desks. So if you have a look at the mounting, now let me see if I can get this. Can everyone see where the mounting is? So this is the arm. It's a massive articulated arm, right? And this is the mounting. Just there, right? That thing weighs about 7 kilos. Like, it is heavy. It is solid metal. So that can't be attached to the wall. I need a completely different mechanism to attach it to a wall, and there's no way that can be attached to a shelf, a fixed shelf on the wall. Not only is it extremely heavy, but there's no way that a shelf can support the weight. Look at this arm, right? And because of the way this is articulated, it's got a little bit of a little play in it. See this? I'm just wobbling it around a bit. It's got a tiny bit of play in it, and that tiny bit of play also doesn't help when I bang the desk, right? Like, I'm banging the desk right now. You can't see the desk moving, but that's how much I was banging it before when the camera was shaking. There is no way. Challenge accepted. Sorry, okay. There's no way that I know of that I could use this arm and attach it to anything else. It's specifically designed to go on the desk. And I need the arms. I need to be able to push the whole thing away so I can work there, and then have it come close to me. Like I could put the microscope in a completely different type of stand, like a swing out arm type thing, but then the microscope is always on my desk, or I always have to move it, unplug everything and move it around all the time, which I just don't want to do. I want to keep it on my desk all the time. Made out of dark matter. You would need cement desk to fix that. Or dark matter. Yeah, I don't know how I'd fix. I mean, even on my old desk, which was like the one in the back corner, which has got full sides and back, really solid desk. You know, if I bang the desk, it's still wobbled. Like it's just it's part of what it is. Don't think the wobble is a problem. Your head probably wobbles more than most of the time. Right, just for the live stream viewers' eyes, exactly. Like for me, it makes no difference to me. Like when I'm working and I've got my eyes there and I bang the desk, I know I'm banging the desk, or if I'm knocking something, it's totally fine. It's about having the picture go funny for you guys when you're watching. I don't want to make people motion sick or anything. So it's only for that. If it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't care. Like for me, it makes no difference. We would often weld things to the walls in the workshop just because we could, and it would make things easier. I mean, if this was not... I mean, I've got nicely plastered walls and stuff. Like, if this was if I was in a factory space and I had, you know, brick or concrete slab walls or whatever else, or something that wasn't a nicely finished room, then I'd look at attaching things to walls if I needed to. But I'm not going to, like... There's no solid wall here. Like, it's all just wood with plaster on each side, like a wooden frame with plaster on each side. So I'd have to find a place that I had frames there that I could attach it to, and yeah, it's not like it's going to give me a heck of a lot of stability doing that. Couldn't you create a stand between camera and desk to support the while streaming? A stand between camera and desk. Well, it's not between the cameras, it's the whole microscope. I mean, you can buy stands to replace this with, but then it's not just for when I'm streaming. Why would I pull all this apart and then rehook it up into something else just to stream, and then pull it all apart again and put it back? Like, yeah. My stream needs to fit in with my working setup, not the other way around, if that makes sense. Yeah, like it's... Like, I love streaming, I do it every week, and, you know, not every stream I'm going to do microscope stuff, but I mean, obviously with the new camera I'm going to do it more than I was before. But at the end of the day, like, it's my work setup. That's where I build things and assemble things, and so yeah. Look, it's not that bad. You know, like when I was working before back in the stream, I wasn't really watching much on the screen, but like when I was placing components and stuff and checking things, was it bad? Like, I must have knocked the desk a few times. Some alum tapes, 93 degrees, 180, 300C. Wow. If you continue to use their stuff, be sure what brand it is and specs. Well, I definitely know my tape's higher than 93 and 180. It could be the 300C stuff, I don't know. Like, you saw it bubbling at 340, 360 or whatever it was, 300, 320, but it's completely stuck. Like, it's not coming off. What you need is a self-supporting gimbal stand for the microscope, wall mounted. Just think of the children. Sure. I'll have to set up a second Patreon to do that, or maybe a GoFundMe to be able to pay for that. Just something I can clip onto it. Oh, something to brace it, you mean? Maybe. Right, so some type of bracket that I can support it with underneath onto the desk, just to hold it still. That removes the ability for me to move it though during a stream, which is also bad. See, I don't have a wall-mounted arm here, maybe of use. No, I've got no wall. I've got a window here. There's no wall to mount it to. That's the other thing. There's no wall. It's all window behind here. So unless I can mount it to the window, it's not going to happen. Aerobotic AI controlled arm. Floor stand. No, I'm not looking for a solution. Thanks, Alan. No, I don't want to. Floor stand's not going to help me. Honestly, it's not going to help me. Because firstly, I got no place to stick a stand. Yeah, anyway. You'll see next time you're here, Alan, you'll see. Yeah. Don't shake the desk. Well, that's the other thing. Like, I've got to be more careful. Yes. And I was trying to be before. Can you weld glass? I can break glass. I'm pretty sure I can break glass. Okay, so... Gyro stabilized. Wow, this is going downhill quickly. Yeah. This stuff is heavy. I don't know how heavy this is. I really need to... I don't know. This is like really heavy. Heavy, man. Wow, that also feels like it's coming a bit loose. Yeah, anyway. Honestly, there's no way to completely remove vibration. My scope is the same thing when my knees hit the desk. Viewers will live with it. Yeah, like I'll just try to keep it reduced. Or apologise if I happen to bang it. Drinking less coffee is never the answer. Who said drink less coffee? More coffee. The more coffee I drink, the steadier my hands are. So I need to finish this one off. Right? Just hand soldering. And I'm going to build another, maybe 1 or 2 panels today. And I want to get, hopefully by the end of this week, I'll get some more of these up on the store. The last lot. This will be the last lot. I'm going to use up all the parts I've got. And then that'll be the last of my play shields. So if anyone was wanting one, they'll be available hopefully the end of this week. Yeah, and that's it for those. And I think, is there anything else? Anyone else got any questions? Who's going? David's going? Which David? Got to go. See you, Mr. Watts. Thanks for joining. Did you play soccer today, by the way? I didn't see in the chat. Hope you played soccer. No injuries, I hope. Has the idea. Construct a shoulder mount system for the scope and eat raw coffee beans. I used to try eating raw coffee beans. Can't do it. No. Only the movie industry can afford that gyro stuff. Us mere mortals. Yeah, I'm not even mortal. What's before mortal? Anyway, that doesn't even make any sense. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, Johnny. I wasn't ending the stream yet. David's going. But I will end soon. But I just want to know, was there any... Yeah, football was good. Thunder and lightning and hail and a hailstorm. Really? Did you play during the hailstorm? I like my coffee way too much, I gotta say. I'm cutting back though. Like I've cut back. Anyway, but I'm looking after myself. I'm running, which is great. I'm exercising every day, which is awesome. Yeah, it was a bit mental. Was it big hail? I hope you didn't get smacked in the head, in the noggin. Smacked in the noggin. Really? Okay. Bye, Mr. Watts. Thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. I'll speak to you soon. Is there any other questions? Anything else you want me to show you? Maybe you can show us one of the finished play shields work. I don't have a finished working play shield. This one is not a working play shield. Unfortunately. Oh, so hang on, wait. No, this is not a working play shield. I could pull it apart and fix it. Anyway, I don't actually have... I sold all of my play shields, including my test one, because I thought I wasn't making any more. Any idea on how fast that hyperpixel screen you got can update? If you use the I2C connector. The I2C connector is not to drive the screen. The I2C connector is just to allow you to connect an I2C devices via it, I believe. Yeah, it's not to actually drive the screen. Not that I know about. No, I haven't. It's just sitting on the desk. I finished the stream and I played with it for about another 15 minutes afterwards, and then I moved away from it, and I haven't done anything more with it. Yeah, the maximum you normally get with I2C is 400 kilohertz. So yeah, I mean it's a full speed I2C bus, but it's not for driving the screen. Well, if you can drive it through I2C, okay, cool. I didn't see that, but I wasn't really looking for that. My plan was to do it off the Pi, so that's all I really looked at on the screen. If I'm wrong, if you can do it from I2C, that's kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, you wouldn't get very fast. I mean, that's a lot of pixels, 720 by 720. Catch you, Paul. See you later. Thanks for joining, Mr. Count. Yeah, so yeah, you wouldn't get a lot of. It'd be very slow. You can get faster I2C, but it's not standard, right? It's yeah, it's out of the whatever the original standard spec was, but you can do it. But most peripherals can't do that fast. People to work on some real slow stuff and learn to appreciate what you have. James, the king of slow. No, yeah, I mean 400 compared to SPI though. We're saying. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to show you. Maybe one last quick look. So I redesigned the Nano. I got two versions of the Nano, but I haven't got either of them made yet. Because again, I can't, because JRC PCB are not making 4-layer boards at the moment. But let me show you what I've got. Although the docs look messy. 1 second. Measure. Switch. Where's OBS? So this is my castellated version of the Nano. Actually, I'll show you this view. Better. So I've broken out every pin now. Every single I/O that is available on the Pico D4 is broken out now. One screen of uncompressed graphics will take 13 seconds. Wow. What's not a very nice man? Is 1 megahertz part of the standard? The original standard? Interesting, I didn't think it was. Hey Mad Labs. Okay, anyway, so this is the castellated version, so it's using the 1.27mm pitch. You can see there all my stitching. Who was talking about stitching? Ian was. There's all my stitching for that. So that board's ready to go. I've got, as I said, every I/O is broken out that's possible to break out, including all of the input only ones. So I/O 34, 35, 36, 37, 38 and 39 are broken out. They're all input only, but they're on ADC 1. But what I also did was made another version of it. This is the bottom of it. So I'll show you through here as well. See, it keeps flicking that. God, every time I click off Eagle, it closes that window, which is really annoying. So the pitch is 1.27mm. So this is a non-castellated version. So it's got room for an RF shield, a custom RF shield, and then on the bottom it's using pads instead of using castellated edges. But I think that it's just too difficult. It's going to be too difficult to use. I mean, not for me. I could put this on my Reflow Master, no problem, and my Reflow Master Pro. But like, it can't be hand soldered. It's got to be reflowed. 1.27 pitch is the same as what's on a Rover module. Oh, sorry, a Room or a Rover. ESP32 module. Yeah, this is not something that's very friendly for other people to attach. Like, you have to reflow it, and then you have to get the alignment pretty much perfect. So I'm not sure I don't want to go with this version, but it does have the added advantage because there's no castellated edges on the side. It means that it's cheaper to make from a PCB point of view, and I've got the extra room to stick a shield on it. Where if I go back to this version, just quickly, right, this version can be hand soldered because it's got castellations down the side or reflowed, but there's no space to stick a shield. I'd have to make it much bigger to stick a shield on. And the PCB is going to cost more. So I have finished both of these. They've been finished for a little while. Oh, the other one's been finished for a while. This one I only finished end of last week. I just added some extra pins on it. So again, this has got everything in it. So it's a full TinyPICO. It's got extra RAM. It's got obviously more pins broken out because it's got every single pin broken out, and it doesn't have the APA, so it's not using those pins for the APA. It's got onboard PMIC for charge and everything else. All you need to do is connect a USB connector to it of any type you want, if you want to stick a USB on it. So it's the full microcontroller, like TinyPICO, but in a module format. So I think I'm going to go with this one for my Reflow Master Pro, and I've worked out with JLC PCB how we're going to panelize it, so it can be panelized, and yeah, I just need to wait till they're making 4-layer boards again, 4 and above, because right now, yeah, there's no ETA on when that's happening again. Thanks, Mad Labs. Yes, I like small, but could you imagine how much smaller could I get this? Because these are all still 0402. If I did 0201, that would be crazy, but I'm not going to do it because the few millimeters less I get on the PCB size is not going to be enough. Like, I don't need that for my Reflow Master. This is, right? And this is tiny already, right? This is smaller than a room 32. But it also means I can't pick and place it, where if I keep them 0402, I can pick and place them. So yeah, yeah, there's some external tools that let you panelize boards. I'm not, again, I don't want to panelize this myself, not using mouse bites and using a technique that I'd never used before to panelize. I'm going to let them do it and then be responsible for it. At the end of the day, it doesn't cost me any more. Like, if I panelize it or they panelize it, the engineering fee, the difference in price between the engineering fee is like $2. I didn't hear Crowley. Was there a Crowley? Must have missed it. So for $2 or whatever it is, I'm not going to bother penalising. I'll let them do it, and if there's a problem with the penalising, it's on them, which I'm much more comfortable with. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to getting these done. So you can see I've got, oh, I didn't put one here. Try to keep the stitching to not have any antennas anywhere. Yeah, I can't put them through here though because there's traces on the back. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm happy with these. ESP32 standard mode, 100 kilobits per second. Fast mode, 400, up to 5 megahertz. You're constrained by SDA pull-up strength. Interesting. Okay. Good luck putting several devices on high speed. Yes. Yes. Just wanted to share that with you. So yeah, so that's one of the things I need to redesign my Reflow Master Pro for, is to support the new revision of the Nano, and then I'm also going to be getting rid of the transistors on there and putting MOSFETs instead, so you can drive high voltage stuff directly off the fans, just for the two fans, or those two controllers. And I'm also going to be breaking out the ground and 5 volts into screw terminals as well for people that want to pass the 5 volts through to power something else. Like if you want to power some relays or something, do it as well, which I want to do on my oven. So yeah, there's a few changes to make there. But I can't, there's no point doing that until I can put a new Nano on there, and I can't get my new Nanos made. So, and they have to be JLC PCB. Okay, I think that's it, unless anyone's got any other questions or anything. Nope. No, yes, no. Okay, well, it's been 2.5 hours. I think that's a pretty good length stream. Probably that's 2 hours longer than a lot of people would like. And OBS only played up once, which is great. Thanks, Ian. You too, mate. Thanks for joining. Okay, well, I think we're going to leave it there then, it looks like. It's break time. Hey, Charles! Oh, hold on a sec. Jay said, good customer, put a shield over the whole Nano. They could stick a shield over the whole Nano, absolutely. Sure, no reason why not. I don't think that the Nano, like, I will use a Nano for myself, and I would make them, and if people want to, I'll make them available for people to buy. If people want to use them on their projects, no problem. As long as they understand that they're not certified, and that's it. And that's going to pretty much eliminate the largest market for an item like this, which is the commercial market, having them not certified. So could they put a shield over it? Could they get it certified themselves? Yes, but would they bother? Probably not, when they can buy something pre-certified. Or if they're going to have to go through certification themselves anyway, they'll probably design their own implementation and not use mine. So, which is fine. So, yeah. So I will make them, I think, 90% sure I'm going to make them now, and I will make them available for people to buy if they want to use them on their projects, as long as they realise what the caveat is. Yeah. Remember to use gate drive resistors for MOSFETs. Gate drive resistors. I mean by gate drive, you mean to stick a resistor on the gate, is what you mean, right? Yes. On the gate, and gate to emitter. No, gate to drain. Drain, source, drain. Gate to drain. Yeah? They're called gate drive resistors. Is that actually a type of resistor? Or are you just talking about having the resistors on the circuit? Sorry, I've never heard of a type of resistor. Gate to source. Gate to source. Oh, it depends if it's a high side or if it's a P or an N. But yes. Yes, okay. Yep. All good. It's done. Or it will be done, yes. Yep. Protects the processor from spikes. Yes, backfeeding into the GPIO. Yeah, I know. All good. All good. Yep. But thank you for bringing that up. Also limits the current across the gate capacitance. Good stream, nice chat. Chat you all next week. Thanks, Embedded Hobbyist. Okay, folks. That's it. Thank you. Thank you for joining. It's been great. And hopefully we'll get to do more microscope work in the future on streams. Maybe if I can get some of my boards from JLC PCB, there'll be some new things for you to see under the microscope. But until then, catch you all later. Thank you. Oh, Taki's just joined, just as I'm finishing the stream. Sorry. It's been 2.5 hours and it's time to go. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you. My close button's gone again, but here it comes. Yes, hopefully next time. There it is. Okay. Bye.